In this channel, we talk a lot about sponsorship best practices. But in this training, I want to talk to you about what not to do with your sponsorship opportunity. Check it out. Welcome back to this channel where we talk all about sponsorship best practice. If you are new to the channel or you're returning, you haven't done it yet, take a moment now, please, to give this video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. It would mean a lot to me. So let's talk about what you should stop doing with your sponsorship opportunity right away. Stop making your proposals and your pitch all about you. Sponsorship is nothing more than audience and access to audience. Mark Sabarin told me, and I absolutely agree with him, that all those in the sponsorship industry should think of themselves as nothing more than a curator of audience. It's great advice, and it's absolutely true. But here's what people do wrong. They load up their sponsorship package with 10 pages all about their history, their mission, their vision, their CEO's biography, the dates, how much money they need, how many logos they're promising sponsors. They load up their opportunity full of what is essentially begging for money. Don't make your opportunity all about you and how much money you need. Instead, make it all about your audience and how a sponsor can connect with this incredible audience. Do not wait until it's too late to request sponsorship. Can you get sponsorship 90 days out before your opportunity? Sure, but you're going to have to work an intense schedule for that to be the case. Can you get sponsorship 2 weeks before your opportunity? Maybe. But if you're serious about achieving your sponsorship goals, give yourself a year. Give yourself 6 months. 3 or 4 months, maybe. But waiting until days or weeks before your opportunity to close your sponsorship deals means you're waiting too long. I can hear what you're saying. Who would do this? Sadly, many people, except they don't realize they're doing it. The problem is that a year out, you start looking for sponsorship and you hear nothing back. And so what do you think? I'll just keep doing the same thing and hope for a better result. 6 months out, no sponsorship. So what do? The same thing. And you find yourself in a position of panic looking for sponsorship too late. Keith Cunningham said, scaling mediocrity only leads to bigger piles of mediocrity. If it didn't work a year out, it's not going to work 6 months out. It's not going to work 3 months out. It's not going to work 2 weeks out. If your efforts are not producing sponsorship dollars within 30 days, you need a different approach. Sponsorshipcollective.com, book a call, we can help you. But if you wait until weeks before your opportunity to reach out, we can help you for next year, but we can't help you for this year. The other thing that you want to avoid is pestering the sponsor. Sponsorship is a business-to-business sales process. Should you be persistent? Yes. Should you annoy sponsors with a terrible sponsorship outreach approach? Definitely not. A good friend of mine used to head up sponsorship for a major bank, and he would tell me that many days he would get in the elevator to go downstairs, perhaps to grab a cup of coffee, and there would be somebody in the elevator waiting for him to hand him a sponsorship package. Not to speak to him. They didn't phone him. They didn't make an appointment. They just rode this elevator and waited for this individual to get on so they could give him a sponsorship package. And then when he would come back to his office after getting a cup of coffee, there would be a stack of sponsorship packages on his desk waiting for him. Whether you're taking this approach, which I don't recommend, or you're just constantly emailing a sponsor and asking them for money, it's the same. It doesn't work. If it didn't work the first time, it doesn't work the 800th time. What you need is a better system, not the same system at scale. Just because you found a sponsor's personal cell phone number or you found their Facebook page doesn't mean that you should call them at 8 o'clock at night or on a Saturday. I get it. You're really passionate about your sponsorship opportunity. That's great. but you have to respect the boundaries of the people you're speaking to. Bump into someone you've been trying to get in touch with at the mall. It is not a good idea to stop them and try to pitch them. Don't be the person waiting in the elevator with a sponsorship proposal. Instead, be respectful, outline your sponsorship opportunity in the right way, use an outreach system that works, and follow the principles of B2B sales. The other key issue I see people doing a lot is failing to provide what a sponsor needs when the sponsor needs it. What do sponsors need? They need audience data, they need access to audience, and they need proof of return on investment. As soon as your opportunity wraps, within days, you should be providing a fulfillment report. When you're reaching out to a sponsor, you should be ready to provide audience data. If you're calling them, be ready for them to answer the phone. Don't go into pitch mode. Instead, greet them, mention who your audience is, and ask if this is a good time to talk about working together. This one's more subtle, but I see it a lot, being closed-minded. Here's what it usually sounds like. I make the claim, hey, gold, silver, bronze doesn't work. Logos on stuff doesn't work. The response is, yeah, but the guys up the road are using gold, silver, bronze, so it must work. Yeah, but I've seen logos at an event, so I know logo placement must work. In other words, you are engaging in confirmation bias. You're looking for proof that your incorrect beliefs about sponsorship are true. The problem with that is that it doesn't change reality. That sponsors are not looking for logos, and they definitely aren't looking for gold, silver, bronze. If your current approach is not working, don't look for justification for that approach. Instead, ask the question, what is the right approach? What is actually working? What does best practice dictate? And follow that. And remember, success leaves clues. Follow those who have walked the path before and who have what you want. A lot of properties ignore the smaller sponsors, or they treat them differently. They don't provide them fulfillment reports. This is a terrible practice. Believe me, it is way easier to get a small sponsor to upgrade 30% year over year over time, turning them into a title sponsor or a multi-year sponsor. Way easier than reaching out to a brand who's never worked with you, who's never heard of you, who has no relationship with you, and asking them to come on board at a $100,000 plus level. Replacing sponsors who leave you because you don't treat them well, way harder than just keeping a sponsor. Ignore your smaller sponsors at your peril. I also see a lot of discomfort and fear and reticence among sponsorship properties when it comes to talking about multi-year agreements. If you are talking to a sponsor, talk to them about signing a multi-year agreement. I'm not talking about giving them right of first refusal. I personally believe that right of first refusal is terrible for properties. It's terrible for the sponsorship seeker. It only benefits the sponsor, and I never enter into those types of relationships. Instead, I like to enter into a mutually beneficial multi-year agreement of 3 years or more. Skipping this conversation and not actually trying to onboard sponsors directly into a multi-year is likely costing you thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars. Don't avoid talking about a multi-year agreement. If you enjoyed this video and you want me to keep making more, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to this channel so you never miss an update. And it would also mean a lot to me if you dropped your key takeaways down below in the comments. Let me know the one thing that really stood out to you that you plan to implement right away. And remember, the sponsorship proposal does not make the sale. You do. Good luck out there.